Hey there, welcome back to Mr. Smith Garage. We're taking a little journey. I'll be honest with you, I've done a couple of little travel vlogs, but this is an experiment. I'm taking Jill, the 82 Vanagon, on a little camp trip, maybe 2 nights with Synchro Diesel Jim. So we're gonna be kind of, I don't know, up in the mountains trying to beat the heat. Supposed to be 115, 118, something like that down here in the, I guess we call this the valley. It's the top of the valley in California. So we're gonna go up into the mountains. I've been camping, but haven't been camping in Jill. And so that's the plan. I'm gonna try and, I guess, video a bunch of the highlights. We're doing some off-grid camping, maybe a little bit of hiking. Right now I'm just gonna go get some fuel, then meet up with Jim. I've brought some food, brought a bunch of water, and we'll see how it goes. So thanks for joining me. Thanks for your patience. I appreciate all of you that are following. If you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. We work on Volkswagen Vanagons. I've got the Eurovan project that's going. We've got a couple of Sea-Doo XPs from the 1990s. So I've done a couple of videos on the Honda. Again, this is my first camping video, so be patient with me. I know pretty much everybody around that has a Vanagon around this area, but I was just driving by and I saw this air-cooled Westfalia, Washington plates, Monst. Not many air-cooled Vanagons around, but there's one there. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're getting close. See those mountains in the background there, up way out there? Those are the mountains we'll be going through. I'm thinking that it's a dirt road, but I do think that Jim's driveway might be my most difficult obstacle on this trip. Okay, here is the most formidable driveway, which I think might be my most difficult dirt road on this adventure. We'll see as we, get deeper into the adventure, but this is my friend Diesel Synchro Jim's driveway. It's got a few switchbacks. And Jill is just an air-cooled 2.0 liter, 67 horsepower powerhouse, 2-wheel drive. But we're doing just fine. One thing that I'll let you know, you can't see, but we're running at about 210 on the oil temperature. It's stayed pretty constant. It hasn't gone up at all. I think once I was driving that freeway at about 50, 55, it got up to that 210, and that's about where it's staying. So because it's not going any higher, I feel pretty good. I got a fan running on that oil cooler, and I don't think we're going to be driving as fast as I've been driving as we go up on this adventure. So once again, this is Jim's driveway, which I think might be the most difficult of the trip. And I'm gonna turn it off here as we get to the top. Okay, we are on our way out of Jim's house, going down his driveway now. And then when we get to the road, I'll turn it off, and we'll get it back. We'll probably get a video back when we get to the dirt road that we're heading on when we go from pavement to dirt. So but that's the Synchro Diesel Jim in front of me. Full load of everything that we need, and we kind of just checked through all of our camping materials, and it sounds like we got everything that we're going to need for a couple days in the outback. Once again, thanks for joining me, Mr. Smith Garage. I hope I do this justice by doing a little travel vlog on the road. Just so you can see what we're driving through, it's beautiful. It's already like, I don't know, 10 or 15 degrees cooler here. We're up a little bit in elevation. It's just a little 2-lane road through the trees. I want to say most of this is probably either private lands or BLM land. This is already cooler. Yeah, I got it going right now. So, yeah. So where do you? Which way do we go?
Oh, that way.
Okay. Awesome.
You know what? I don't really think we get lost. Why don't you go ahead and leave?
Okay. Tamarack Road, huh?
Tamarack Road.
Okay. I don't think we can get lost, but you know, we were talking earlier, and you know, as long as you keep going east, that you really can't get lost. So, haven't hit dirt yet, but starting up a little bit of a grade, which is nice. Jill's doing just fine so far. We're still sitting around 210 to 220 on the oil temperature, but feel pretty good about it. All right, we hit gravel. Yeah, look, this is a nice gravel road actually. A little dusty behind me for Jim, but yeah, there's a little meadow up here. A beautiful road. Temperature's up a little above 220 on the oil, maybe 230, but we're kind of going downhill a little bit and flat, so we're kind of in between these two ridges. It looks like there's maybe some homestead up here. All right, we just got to a little bit rougher road, but still not bad. And then we're going up a steeper hill. Ah, there we go. Got some steep hills. Temperature on the oil went down a little bit, back down to 220. Might just be because we're going a little slower. Poor Jim's eating all my dust back there. We're just doing first gear, going, I don't know, 10 miles an hour, something like that. And I have seen some Sierra Pacific signs. So Sierra Pacific works on clearing this land. Okay, we're getting up at a little higher elevations. I just went through some sand, but hey, it's just like powdery sand stuff for the road. But man, this is beautiful up here. So this is it is kind of clear cut off to the side here on my left. Let's see if I can get you twisted a little bit there. But look at those trees, the forest. The temperature is nice up here. If you don't get a chance to get out and do stuff like this, this is what it's all about. So I just came up around this corner, and there's this meadow, and oh, it's beautiful. And there must be a spring up here, because there was actually water running on the road a little bit further back there. We're probably less than 80 degrees now, where it's 107 today down in Redding. Alright, we stopped for maybe 10 minutes there at that little spring pond that's at the top there. It's kind of a watering trough for the cattle that run through here. Engine cooled down to like 190, so we're kind of back to, and then it feels like right now we're going downhill and just kind of cruising. I don't know if we've made it over the saddle yet to the other side, but we're kind of in this valley up here at the top. I think we've made it over the top, because it's all downhill right now. Just want to turn this a little sideways so you can see what is out here. Just beautiful. See, it's all forested. Very pretty. Here's a formidable bridge up here. You can actually see it's steel. So we found a river crossing. This is not the Burney, like the headwaters of Burney. This is actually Cow Creek headwaters. And so found a little place that I can do a river crossing. So we're just gonna have some fun with it. Why not, right? Here we go. So this is Cow Creek. And we made it. All right, I'm gonna follow Jim on this one. We're exploring to see if there's even if it's this next road is even open. I think we'll be okay. So Jim was telling me that a lot of these, there's like these parcels up here that people homesteaded, so 80-acre parcels, and there's still quite a few private ones left that are here. And then some of it is SPI land, and some of it is BD, B-E-A-T-I-E, I think is the land, BD land. BD was a fruit producer or fruit processor, and they use the wood to make their fruit boxes with, to ship all over. So that's why they use the land for timber.
I think it was supposed to take the other little spur.
The one that went down?
Yeah.
Okay. Wait a minute. This way. Yeah, we didn't come down that one. Switch back, switch back. All right, we are down by Old Cow Creek in this perfect little camp spot. Jim's gonna pull right down here. We might make some sandwiches and have some lunch. All right, we are back on the road from our lunch. We're just up here and we got into this clear cut section. Pretty amazing how damaging this looks, huh? It's and it's pretty old clear cut, it looks like. loop. So you can see there's replanting straight ahead in this next section over, but in this that last section there was no trees. Look at this meadow we just came across. That's a big meadow. I'm surprised I don't see any wild animals out there. So just that last clear cut section we went through, I'll need to look back at the tape, but there might have been little tiny trees there, because I went to this next clear cut section and you could see there were only like about a foot tall, but there was little trees in there that they had replanted. So it's not as I mean, it looks devastating right now, but they do it the way that it will regrow the trees, and then you get a renewable resource. Okay, we're coming up on this kind of, oh, we got some cows, some wildlife coming up, but this is called the Green Garden, I think. I think that's what Jim told me. So you can see it's really lush, and of course I see some cows on the road ahead of me and a cow off to the side. This is kind of like just a marshy pond area, huh? Really pretty. Cows are probably thinking we're bringing them some food. Moo! Pretty cows. And it looks like these are either birch or aspen trees. I think they're aspen trees. They got the little eyeballs on them where their branches come out. Huh. All right, we are at about 20% battery life here, but I'm following Jim. We're searching for Burney Springs. That's our next stop that we're looking for. So, oh, stop. Let me see what we got here. We'll leave us running.
Moving around.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
There may have been a road back there to the left that got us off to Burney Springs that we missed, but I think there's another way up here that will bring us back around to it. So there's this huge meadow next to us here. It's just on the other side of those trees. There was the shot. Huge meadow. Great place to graze cattle. Here, I'll get you a more head-on shot. There we go. Isn't that amazing? Looks great. Be a place that a bunch of cowboys can have their cows. Okay, I know my window's a little dusty, but we're going into Burney Springs. Burney Springs. Oh yeah, this is a rough road. Look at this. I feel like I'm rock crawling or something. Alright, so here's our campsite that we got a little bit of dirt from our trip in. A little bit of dust and dirt. This is Burney Springs, and the spring is just right up here in that fenced area. Really nice cold water. Got some big trees. This is our spot for the night. See what we can do. We got the lantern going, the world famous Coleman 220 F195.
Close your door down, I'll dust off your bumper.
Oh, thank you. Oh. Yeah. Oh, that's a better way to do it, huh? Look at that trailer hitch there. Nice trailer hitch, huh? That's the one we pulled off of your work truck or something?
Yeah, one of the trucks.
So this is Jim, if you don't remember Jim.
Oh,
this
hi.
is Jim. Diesel, we call him Diesel Synchro Jim. I don't know, at least that's what Dave was calling you. And Jim helped me with, gosh, when you've been on a video with when we did the valves.
Yeah,
we brought some valves up and checked them.
Lapping the valve.
Lapping the valves. It's funny, I met Jim at Lowe's in the parking lot. I don't know if you remember this, Jim, but
Yep.
you know, in Redding or in the surrounding area, there's not too many people with Vanagons. And so when you meet somebody with Vanagons that's like-minded, Jim's become my friend. I think I've known you for over a year now.
Oh, yeah.
And we do breakfasts every once in a while, and we just finally he talked me into going camping with him. So sure, Dave Bronin will be happy. Oh, there you go. There's Jim with his yellow squash and his salmon. I know this isn't a white gas stove, but it is a Coleman, and it worked great. We cooked salmon that I caught in Alaska out of Valdez, and the yellow squash is from my garden that I picked yesterday. Good morning. Slept well, and Jill the Vanagon. Now I'm heading to the spring to get some water to make some coffee. I'm gonna use this old Perk style coffee. So here's what the spring looks like. It's just water coming straight out of the hillside here. There we go. Alright, this morning we're making coffee with the percolator, and we're doing this Maine coffee that I got from Brendan. Catadin. Haven't had it before, so we're going to try it, see how good it is.
Oh, what's the verdict?
Well, it's heating up.
Oh, heating up. Okay.
And it hasn't started boiling yet, but then we can see how dark it gets on the glass.
Yeah. What do? You boil it for 4 or 5 minutes or so?
Yeah, until like the color looks good.
Yeah.
And, I guess, right?
Darken up.
Yeah. And there you can see it's starting to perk in the glass there. Perking away. Okay, we are leaving Burney Spring, and we're going to head up to Burney Lookout. So on the road to Burney Lookout, there's a couple of these rock falls where it's, you know, it's lava rock just coming off of the top. Jill the Vanagon's liking the temperature under 180, probably 170, 160 on the oil temperature. Pretty cool place to stop along the road. Making our way up, there's Mount Shasta, Hatchet Ridge with all the windmills. Way out in the distance over here is the Trinity Alps. And then that's one of the Burney, two of them, of the mills. Okay, this is definitely getting steeper and a little rougher, but we're making it. We're just doing first gear, slowly trying to miss any of the big rocks. Well, I'll tell you, if you want to do some pretty serious two-wheel drive off-roading in a Vanagon, this is great. I mean, I'm in first gear and just climbing this, I don't know, 15%, 10 to 15% grade with rocks all over the place. There's holes, there's some loose dirt. Every turn is a new adventure to see if Jill can make it around. Trying to miss the big rocks. see all the switchbacks up higher too. So, but yeah, there's definitely some loose decomposed granite here, or the gravel, the sand that it breaks down to. And there's a little chipmunk that just crossed the road. So we're basically on the side of this mountain. I think if you look off to your left in the camera, you might be able to see Mount Shasta. Pretty sure this wide angle picks that up. All right, and that is Mount Lassen, the one in the background there. So you can see Lassen from this road as well. Pretty exciting. And then this valley that's off to my right is the valley that we drove through, once we got over that ridge on Whitmore, or what was that road called? Tamarack Road. That was the big valley that we were in. A little glimpse of the lookout tower there. Still moving. So there was a little switchback back there that had a gate that closes for the lookout tower, and it had a sign next to it that said no vehicles. So we stopped, and I asked Jim, and then after looking at it, after I drove by, I realized that it's probably to fill that sign was to fill the gap, so that if the gate is closed, that vehicles won't drive around that gate, because there's kind of a gap there that you can probably fit a Jeep around it. So I'm assuming since the gate's open, we're gonna go for it. We're gonna go up here to all the way to the top. We figured the worst thing they could do is just tell us we need to turn around and go back down. So hopefully we can do some pictures up at the top here and show you what it looks like from the top of Burney Mountain. And I think we're almost there. Oh, another switchback, and around the bend we go. And here is the top. Let's hope we have a little place that we can turn around, huh? Yeah, we got enough room. We can do some turnarounds. Look at that. We got a little outhouse up here. Okay, so here's a view from the top. So this is looking kind of northwest. There's Mount Shasta, Hatchet Ridge, Trinity Alps are along here. This is Burney, the city of Burney. Right around here is Lake Britain, and where Burney Falls would be. And then it runs into the Pitt River that kind of runs along this spot. This is the Hat Creek Valley over on this side. All right down in here. And then it goes all the way up to Mount Lassen here. So that's Mount Lassen. Lookout tower, and this is the valley that we kind of came through when we drove the first part of our journey. So quite beautiful, huh? Both the two-wheel drive and the synchro made it up here. So this is the view from the Burney Lookout. Walking around, I'll just go 360 here. Definitely windy because we're at the top of the hill. And then this is the wind blocked side. And that's you can kind of see the road that we came up, all those switchbacks down there. But a pretty good view. There is a fire going on right down here. that was a barn just outside of Burney, and but that's the only fire. We've seen a couple of dust spots from different places in the road. And then here's kind of the valley going up. You can kind of see out this way. Let's make sure I can point here. Is the road going up the Pit River, and then up and over the hill to that huge valley out there. That's Fall River, and then you can kind of see a lake out there. That's fire came through a few years ago. It's all cleaned up, and a bunch of lava stuff down here. Lava tubes, probably. So we just came out of the forest, and we're still in the forest here. I think I'm going to look at this sign. Yep, Cypress Trailhead is where we're heading to. So we're going to turn right here. I think this was a lightning strike fire. It happens. It's nature replenishing itself. All right, so Jim and I are on a trail. We don't know where we're going. No, actually we do. We're going to Eiler Lake, E-I-L-E-R. And we're looking at all these huge trees. Some of these trees are great. We just climbed, I don't know, 2,000 feet in 2 miles. It seems like, no, it was only 800 feet, but it seemed like 2,000 feet. But we're looking for this lake that's supposed to be at 6,424 feet, and we got up to about 6,480. So I think we're going downhill to the lake. But yeah, look at some of these trees. There's the lake through the trees. Oh yeah. That is a cool lake. Okay, we've made it past the mosquitoes. Not really past the mosquitoes, but into the lake.
So many times when I've been up here, these little areas here are dry.
Uh-huh.
So we're going to have to kind of loop around to the right here to go around one of them.
Okay.
You used to be able to just walk across there.
Oh, I was going to say it looks pretty shallow.
Yeah.
Ah, here's a good view of the lake. Look at that.
Yeah, pretty deep. This is one of these little pondlets that I was talking about.
Really? Looks like the Loch Ness Monster out there. It's probably just a tree. Okay, here's a campground. You could, if you brought your horses up here, it's like tie the horses up, and nice flat spot. Jim said he used to camp here. And then down here where the...
Here's a nice shady log that sits on down here.
Okay. Hopefully the mosquitoes aren't hanging out by it. But these mosquitoes are all small. Nothing like the mosquitoes in Alaska.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, so here's down there at the end where all those trees are burned out. There's an old campsite. Oh, I can kind of see it. Okay, I do not see fish, but they're in there. The dragonflies are happy. Well, the mosquitoes are relentless. I think the hill, coming up the hill, was not bad. Not as bad as the mosquitoes. So we are retreating from the mosquitoes. We kind of are going back through the swampy land. See the swampy marsh. So there's still mosquitoes here. But we're hoping that the mosquitoes will subside when we get back to the next Y, the McGee Y down here, and then we're gonna go downhill. All right, we are beginning this steep descent. Quite an endeavor we have done here. We're just getting into the gulch. So this was quite a trek we did. When I get back to the vans, I'll look at the mileage. Okay, we are back, and I'm gonna open this up and show you here. We did 2.2 miles from that campsite down. That means that we were 4.44 miles total. Elevation, there we go. So this is our elevation. We came down. So you can see we started at 60, I think we were at 64.24. We went up just a little bit over the hump, and then we're back down to 5,500 feet, something like that. A good hike. We made it up, we made it down. Now we're both thirsty and hungry. All right, so last night we had salmon and yellow squash.
Thank you.
And then tonight we are having 2 cups of water, cube of bouillon, chicken bouillon, top ramen, 2 eggs, and the top ramen seasoning, and 2 chicken breasts. And it's a soup. And Jim made that, and it is delicious. We had a really long hike, and we did it on the Coleman stove, which has been actually a really good stove. So we're gonna eat. All right, good morning. Day 3 of our intermountain camping trip. We were just at Eiler Lake, Cypress trailhead. Today we're heading down towards Hat Creek, towards 89. Had a good time last night. I did a little sunrise time lapse that I showed just before this, making breakfast on the griddle. That Coleman stove that I picked up at the thrift store is working great. It's got like a grill, a little burner, and also a griddle that you can replace the grill with. and we did pancakes on that today, and it was wonderful. Boy, that hike yesterday was quite a hike up through the mosquito land. They ought to just call it Mosquito Trail. But we survived and got down. Jim set up a little shower he has on the side of his Vanagon, and we ended up getting showers, which was nice, just to clean off the dirt off and the dead mosquito carcasses. All right, here's where we're getting into this fire, this old burn. And you can see it's probably I think it was before the car fire, so it's probably a 6, 7, 8 years ago, this fire. Burned down over the ridge here down to Hat Creek. Oh yeah, up to the left up there, that's Burney Lookout, and that's where we were yesterday. So we made that turn. We're driving into the sun, so but we're driving through kind of some lava fields, which is pretty cool. You know, you wouldn't normally see all these lava outcroppings if it weren't for the fire that burned through here. So you can see off to my right quite a few little lava things. Okay, we're coming up on a crossroads, and by the looks of it, it looks like this is the spring that Jim was talking about. So we'll take a break here and check out this little spring. Definitely warmer down this way. We're getting close down to Hat Creek. I think it was 5.5 miles. Going through a few trees that survived this burn. And then we're getting into another spot here where I think Jim said there's a dry lake bed up here that covers over with ice, and people come out and drive around on it because it's such a thin little lake. There's that dry lake bed. So on a good water year, it gets some rain in it, and the people drive around on it. Huh. Maybe that's Cornaz Lake. Oh, look at all those hot spots across the mountain there with the lava straight ahead. That's pretty cool. Spots where the lava came up through the ground and left its mark. Okay, I think we're coming over the last ridge into the Hat Creek Valley. Look down at that. So that's a huge lava flow that came out of Lassen, or prior to Lassen, maybe Mount Tehama. Off in the distance, straight ahead right now, you can see a bunch of white specks. Those are the satellites dishes for the radio observatory, Hat Creek Radio Observatory. And the lava flow stops right about in there. Well, it's actually keeps going, but it's underground. So it's this is a pretty cool view right here. That's for sure. Beautiful view. It's nice green fields. Look at that. There's Highway 89. We're going to be getting on here in just a few. And there's a good view of it again. So we were up on a lookout tower up on that mountain with snow on it. Pretty wild. Cows look like they're having a good time. Enjoying some fresh grass, watered by Hat Creek. Coming up on this, it's Bridge Picnic Area. That's what they call it. Not a day camp. Picnic area. And let's see if we're going to have some parking in here or not. It looks like we're going to have some parking. beside me. Look at this. All right, we're up above Hat Creek now. We decided to come back this way versus scramble through the trees down below. So we're just gonna scramble some lava.
Yeah.
Watch for loose lava, huh?
Yeah. And grab you. It'll grab you in the shoes.
Going up and over.
Wow, all this stuff has been knocked down. Huh.
Oh yeah. It looks like a fire came through here.
Yeah, this is part of the fire that blew up.
But it kept, a lot of the trees stayed alive, huh?
Yeah. I see some of them have been burned down.
Yeah. But you can see it's just charred on the bottom of these trees, but they are green up on top. Look at all this holly. This is so weird to see this little shrubbery. I'm gonna follow Jim, see how it goes. Crossing Hat Creek. No fishing from the bridge. We're at about 4,000 feet. We're going to go up and around this corner, and I think we'll have a visual of Mount Lassen. And there it is, peeking in off to the right, Mount Lassen. Our old station sign. Susanville and Reno to the left. And we're gonna do straights. I see his hand out the window. So let's see if we're turning up here somewhere. Look at these happy trees. So am I going right?
Yeah. So, off to the left here, you'll have to see the amount of water that's flowing.
Yeah.
This is only part of it, but this is all out of the spring.
Okay.
This is not out of the creek. The creek comes off from the left over there.
Yeah. So this is all spring water.
This is all spring water.
So this is all part of the spring. It's super clear water, huh?
Yep.
Oh, look at it bubbling out of there. Water seeping out of the ground. That's a lot of water too.
Yeah, a lot of water. And which way is it coming from?
It's coming from over here where there's no water. I'm gonna walk across, Jim. I just want to look over here. Dry ground.
You see any water over there?
Just grasslands. But it's a big valley.
Yeah.
And it's green up above the valley. Like you can see way up there, there's some green stuff. But no water.
No water, right? Okay, so I want to go off to our left here.
Okay.
Across this little bluff kind of. We find a place to cross over here.
All right, I'm going to close this out. We don't have much time left on our journey. I think Jim and I are going to probably stop for a sandwich or something when we get to Shingletown. But had a wonderful time. Just to kind of recap, we went, I think we drove about 60 or 70 miles on dirt and gravel. Could have been even more. Could have been like 90 miles. I probably should have tracked that, but I can't remember. We camped our first night at a place called Burney Spring. Then that next morning we went up to the top of Burney Lookout, and I got some pieces in there for that. Then we drove down back through Burney Spring and then up to Cypress trailhead and Lake Eiler. All this is a dirt road, off-road. And then we came back through a burn area, the Hack Creek fire. It may have been 10 years ago. I'll have to try to look that one up. And then down into Hack Creek, did some off-road trail hiking through Bridge picnic area. Then we just stopped at the big spring. That is basically, it's a big spring, and it's spring feeds Hack Creek and Big Spring come together, and then that becomes Hack Creek all the way down through the Hack Creek Valley. Lots of water through there, and now we're just heading home to 115, 118 degree temperatures. So appreciate you coming along, Mr. Smith Garage. This is going to be a long video, but it's a journey that we took, and appreciate Jim continuing to push me to get outdoors with Jill, the 82 air-cooled Vanagon. I'm just a little too tall to sleep diagonally on the floor, maybe 2 to 3 inches, so my feet kind of crammed into a corner and my head was crammed into another corner, and I was diagonal, but I got some sleep. And we cooked, and we ate, and we had a good time. So, thanks for joining me. We'll see you next time on Mr. Smith Garage.